What's up, guys? Wes from Those Once Loyal here. Another battle report coming at you today. Today we're going to be doing a chapter-approved Maelstrom mission called Visions of Victory. The deployment is going to be search and destroy, so table quarters, and we're doing 1750 of Ryan's Death Guard versus my Space Wolves. So I'm really excited to show you guys the armies. Let's check them out. Yeah, so this is my 1750 of Space Wolves. This is the 13th company, or they are modeled that way at least. And I'm really excited to bring them back. I haven't had them on the channel a while because I've been modeling them and been busy with boring life stuff. So I have a battalion and a vanguard, and I'm doing the assassin strat for 2 CP and 85 points. So let's get into the battalion on the right over here. The HQs are going to be 2 Wolfguard battle leaders, which are identical. They're both going to have Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, jump packs.
This guy's looking like a wolfen all of a sudden.
Yeah, once he gets done, he's going to be the Wolf Lord, maybe with Wolfenstone or something. A little conversion there.
That's sick.
And behind him are 3 identical units of Grey Hunters. They have the free chainsword upgrade because why wouldn't you take it? And then a plasma gun in each. That's the pretty stock standard, just troop tax. And to their right is going to be a squad of Longfangs. They're going to have 4 las cannons, and then the sergeant is just going to have a, chainsword bolt pistol. And that is the battalion. So pretty simple, effective, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, and then the vanguard is a lot of Wolfen. So the HQs up front, the guy with the cape is actually going to be my warlord. He is going to be a Wolflord in Phobos armor, and he's going to have the Saga of Majesty trait. Now, there might be some discrepancies here. I've talked to a lot of people, and I have not had anyone tell me that they didn't think that this was possible. So his built-in ability, the Omni Scrambler, I think it's called, makes it so that he has a 12-inch deep strike denial aura around him. His Warlord trait increases his auras that don't affect relics or psychic powers or explodes or anything like that by 3 inches. So, by way of the rules, this would mean that he has a 15-inch deep strike denial bubble.
Makes sense to me. It's kind of like the same thing with that the helm that I take my relic helm and then, it increases my auras.
Yeah, and it's a super cool little trick. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff Ryan's bringing that's going to come in turn 2, so hopefully I can keep it away from me. And also, he has a 9-inch reroll 1s bubble, so he can kind of camp out with the long fangs and the fire support and just kind of keep them safe. So to his right is, or his left, I don't know. I can't really tell from here.
Stage left, stage right.
Yeah, either way. It's a Rune Priest. Pretty standard runic axe, bolt pistol. He's going to have the armor of Rust Relic because it's too good not to take on any character. And then he is going to have Living Lightning and Tempest Wrath psychic powers. I like the idea of Fury of the Wolf Spirits, but at the end of the day, having basically 2 smites at your disposal is probably better than having to charge into combat and roll a bunch of stuff. So he's gonna rock that this game. And then behind him are 2 big blobs of Wolfen. Medium blobs. They're 2 5-man units. There's 4 Thunderhammer Storm Shields in each. And the leader has to take the Frost Claws, so that's what they have. I'm pretty stoked to have 2 units now. They need bases, but other than that, they're done. Mm-hmm. And then next to them is a Contemptor with Multi-Melta. Just pretty standard. I had him laying around, and I haven't used a Dreadnought in a while, so I figured I'd take him for this game. And then to round out the Vanguard is going to be a Sikaran battle tank with twin las cannon sponsons and the heavy bolter hull-mounted weapon. Because I had the points, he's going to have a Hunter Killer missile. It's not modeled on there, but just to get it up to 1750. And then for the Assassin, to round everything out, is going to be my custom Calidus. In case any of you conversion people are wondering, this is a Sister of Slaughter fantasy Age of Sigmar model with an old school 3rd edition Dark Eldar helmet plume, a power sword from the Space Marine set, and then a bolt pistol with a Rosarius from the Stern Guard, I think.
It's very cool.
This is a kit bash little thing going on, yeah.
Look at that. That's sick. Definitely very Calidus looking.
Yeah, so there you have it. That is the 1750 of the 13th Company. Wish them luck against their traitor brothers.
And here is 1750 of Death Guard. This is just a big battalion with a bunch of stuff added into it. So leading off the battalion is going to be Typhus. His psychic powers are going to be Miasma of Pestilence and Blades of Putrefaction. And a Demon Prince with a Hellforged Sword. He's going to know Miasma of Pestilence. I've got a Foul Blight Spawn and a Biologist Putrefier. So I can maybe get off the famous grenade trick. A Plague Burst Crawler, a Chaos Rhino with Combi Bolter, a brick of Blightlord Terminators, got a Blight Launcher, the Flail, and 2 guys with swords instead of the axes in there, all with Combi Bolters except that. A unit of Plague Marines, the champion's got a Plasma Gun, and I've got 2 Blight Launchers in there, and 2 of the guys are close combat, got the Cleaver and the Flail in there. Then 1 unit of 20 Poxwalkers, 1 unit of 14 Poxwalkers, and 2 of these Bloat Drones just to be extra annoying. And that is 1750 of Death Guard, who are probably going to get punched in the face by the Space Wolves. Let's check out the battlefield.
All right, so the armies have been deployed. The Space Wolf 13th Company has jumped out of a warp rift to thwart the plans of Mortarian's Chosen. So, Ryan picked his deployment over there, which meant that I deployed my entire army first, as per the mission states. I have a squad of Grey Hunters up in a building right here. Behind them is a squad of Wolfen and a Wolfguard battle leader supporting them. Up the middle is a squad of Grey Hunters just kind of screening the front. Because I don't want my Wolfen to get bogged down by the millions of zombies that Ryan has. There's a Contemptor and a Wolfguard battle leader with them, and then a Rune Priest directly behind the Dreadnought. On the far flank, another unit of Grey Hunters just hanging out. And then in the back line here, the Long Fangs have set up in these ruins. The Wolflord and Phobos armor is behind them, and the Sicaran is behind them.
So I see the strategy here, making the bubble around this very gushy target that I want to put Blight Lords on.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of just thought up while I was reading the rules, and if you can kind of, hold a board edge down, 15 inches is kind of far away to put a deep striking unit.
Yeah, pretty much denies that I'm going to be able to walk all these guys from here to there and deep strike in this huge circle. Yeah. That's super smart.
Ryan, what do you got going on over here?
Just a bunch of stinky guys, Big line of Poxwalkers is the 14, the 20 kind of just spread out around the Rhino, the Plague Marines and the Biologist Putrefier and the Foul Blight Spawn, always a fucking mouthful, are in the Rhino. We've got Fed Bloat Drone, Demon Prince, buffing the Plague Burst Crawler, and basically just, general Death Guard tactic of just move very slowly towards the enemy and hope that you don't die. So that is what's on the board, and in Deep Strike for you just have the Calidus, right?
Just the Calidus, yeah. She's just hanging out in the void.
Find a nice opening turn 2. And for me, I've got the Blight Lords. These are the guys that are in the Rhino, and Typhus is in Deep Strike. So for the tactical objectives for me, I've got Blood and Guts, Mission Critical Objective, which I rolled a 4 for. Hold the Line, and Spread Contagion, which I'm going to be nominating Typhus as that character. And what do you got over here?
I have Master the Warp, so I just got to get a psychic power off. I have Assassinate, so I have to kill a character. I have Kingslayer, which means I have to kill the Warlord, which is cool. And then Secure Objective 2. So go ahead. You want to go over the stipulation of this mission? What the Visions of Victory means when we were drawing cards?
Oh yeah, so when we have to keep 4, and then every time we draw one, we draw 2 instead, and our opponent picks which one we take. So it's very spicy, very spicy. But I don't think it's really going to change my tactics too much, because I'm going to just be walking towards you very slowly, trying to not die. So that is that for me. But
yeah, so as per the mission, the person who finishes deploying their army first, aka me, will decide who takes the first turn. I think I'm going to take the first turn. Would you like to try to seize, Ryan?
I don't. Nergalix, 1 second.
Okay.
I want to see what happens.
All right. Well, we'll move some wolves around and be back to you guys with the first turn's movement for Space Wolf.
My warlord is actually the Demon Prince. He's got the separating plate, just so everyone knows.
And Space Wolf movement for turn 1 has wrapped up. The Grey Hunters in the center moved up just to get within firing range of the zombie mob over there. And the Contemptor and Rune Priest followed suit just to get within range to cast a psychic power. The Wolfen snuck behind this building to be out of line of sight. These Grey Hunters advanced over here to get secure objective 2, which I drew, which is good, so first turn victory point. The Sikaran, Longfang stood still, Warlord stood still. The Sikaran scooted out into the open just so he could get a better shot at some of these models over here. And then the Wolfen and the other Wolfguard battle leader moved sort of around this flank, maybe draw Ryan out, and set up maybe a second or third turn charge. I don't know, preferably second, but we'll see how it goes. So we're going to do Psychic and Shooting and then show you guys the aftermath. All right, guys, Space Wolf's turn 1 Psychic and Shooting is complete, and since there's nothing in charge range, we're just going to combine it into one short clip. The Rune Priest over here near the Dreadnought has manifested Tempest's Wrath onto this unit of Poxwalkers with the gray bases. So they're -1 to hit now, which doesn't really affect anything, but because of the card I drew, I had to get a Psychic Power off to gain a victory point. These Grey Hunters in the building put some shots into the other unit of Poxwalkers with the green bases, as did these Grey Hunters right here. So they took out a few. I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 altogether. Yeah. The Contemptor also put his bolter shots into those Poxwalkers and maybe knocked out another. He failed to do anything with the Multi-Melta, but thankfully my back line here, the Sikaran and the Longfangs, managed to take out the Bloat Drone that was sitting in the middle here, which exploded. And Ryan had previously used a CP to reroll a Disgustingly Resilient, and so he could not do anything about it. It didn't really do too much. I think the Rhino and the Poxwalkers just took a mortal wound, and his Warlord was fine. He made his Disgustingly Resilient, but pretty chill first turn for the Sons of Russ. I guess we'll see how far Ryan shambles the next turn into my front lines. So here is Death Guard turn 1 coming up. Here is my sideboard. I have gotten secure objective 2 with the Grey Hunters in the ruins at the far right side of the table. And I've gotten Master of the Warp for casting a psychic ability. And I take 1 for first strike. So that will put me up to 3. And I'm down to 6 command points. So I will go ahead and draw. So would I draw 4 now?
Yeah, you draw 4 total, and then I pick which one you take out to.
So Ryan will definitely take Defend as the one he's going to want me to get. And another Defend. Wonderful.
All right. Easy choice. So yeah, take this one and take this one.
So now I have Defend Objective 3 and Objective 2, which isn't so bad because my Grey Hunters already are on Objective 2, so unless he can blast those off this turn, I might actually get that. So all right, guys, you don't have to draw anything because you still have 4.
Yeah, I'm still there. So we'll come back to you with the movement for Death Guard.
All right.
And turn 1 movement for Death Guard is wrapped up. Basically just fanned out the zombies in pretty much all directions. Moved back the Rhino so he doesn't get guaranteed charge by a bunch of Wolfen on either side. He also popped smoke. The Warlord just kind of scooted up a little bit, staying within 6 of this, and the Plagueworks Crawler just stood still. And that's really all I'm working with here. Besides, also he moved and advanced up here, so he's just barely in range of the unit down there for double Flamer goodness. And also we retroactively rolled for the Callous ability because I spent 2 CP, and then he made me spend an extra one, rolling the 4 up. What is it? What's the ability called again? It's
I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Reign of Confusion, I think.
Yeah.
So
on a 4-up, your opponent's stratagems cost double.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Super useful. I use it all the time, and it's super annoying for other people, and now it's super annoying for me. So we'll come back to you with the Psychic and Shooting. Psychic phase, this guy is -1 to hit now, which his Sakaran does not give a shit about. And shooting and Psychic are wrapped up for the Death Guard, and also my turn. So this guy popped smoke, so he couldn't shoot. The Plague's Crawler split fire. He did his front sponson gun into the Grey Hunters, but they made all their saves. And the big cannon got 6 shots and like 4 or 5 wounds, but only managed to kill 1 Wolfen because of exceptionally good saves and good feel no pains. So that is pretty cool. Also, the front 2 flamers on this did absolutely nothing on these guys because they got a handful of 4-ups. So that is
13th company.
Yeah, it's it's standard.
They're mighty heroes from an age unremembered.
You might have heard of them, or maybe not. They were in the warp for a while. However, I do have priority objective 4, so that scores me a point, and scored 1 more too for hold the line, because there's 3 of my units in my deployment zone, and there's no one else in the deployment zone for the enemy army. So I'll score this one and this one, which means I'm gonna have to draw 2 unless fucks me up.
You have Kingslayer, because that'll be harder for you to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely gonna kill a character. I gotta read these. I don't know these stinky stratagems.
Oh yeah, these are the Death Guard specific ones.
Score 1 victory point if at least 3 friendly Death Guard infantry units are completely within your opponent's half backfield. So that's kind of not likely. And then the Grandfather's Gift. Score 1 victory point if at least 1 enemy unit was completely destroyed during your turn. And the last model in the unit was slain by an attack made by a Death Guard model attacking with the plague weapon. Man, that's really specific as well.
Incredibly specific. I've got a lot of plague weapons though, and I really doubt that I'm going to get at least 3 units in.
I'll let you take Death March, buddy.
Cool. Sounds good. So he has effectively fucked me. So we'll come back with the Space Wolves, turn 2.
And the Space Wolf movement, turn 1, is complete. The Contemptor moved up from the center here to get within possible charge range of this bloat drone. The Rune Priest, the Wolfen, the Grey Hunters, and one of the Wolfguard battle leaders all sort of mobbed up and are slowly advancing towards Ryan's front lines. These Grey Hunters in the center have decided to stay put and fortify their positions against the incoming shambling mob of stinky zombies. Back here, the Sakaran Longfangs and Wolflord in Phobos armor have not moved because they don't really have a reason to. The Grey Hunters on this side of the board, who are on Objective 2 at the moment, have stayed put, but they have kind of gotten into the ruins a little bit to provide some cover. And the Wolfguard battle leader in the center here has issued a challenge to the Chaos Gods, and is hoping that the Blightlord Terminators will answer his thirst for glory. So him and the Wolfen have actually moved back a little bit to sort of hopefully pressure, if Ryan decides to take this route, if he still wants to put those Blightlord Terminators in the back line, to pressure him into kind of putting them where I want him to, because there's a lot of 9-inch regular deep strike denial, but also this 15 inches that the Phobos Wolflord and the Saga of Majesty provides is very nice. So that's pretty much it for movement. But Space Wolves are hungry for blood. They've been in the warp for a long time. Try to catch these traitors, so hopefully there'll be some charging this turn. Yeah, so guys, I mean, to them it's only probably been like 6 hours, but you know. All right, so we're gonna do Psychic, and we'll get back to you in a sec. And that's it. Space Wolf Psychic and Shooting is done for their turn 2. Not as eventful as I would have hoped. So pretty much a couple of Poxwalkers died from fire over here from the Grey Hunters. A couple of Poxwalkers in the near center died from some more Grey Hunter fire. The Sakaran whiffed with its autocannon, which innately ignores modifiers if a model has the fly keyword. So I was really hoping to put a dent in the bloat drone in the center here with that, but he pretty much, he didn't hit with any of them? Was that it? Didn't wound with any of them? I think it was just a bunch of 2s and 1s to wound.
Yeah, 2s and 1s to wound.
The las cannons from the Sakaran, however, did manage to find their mark and took him 5 wounds out, I think.
Took down at 4 wounds.
Yeah, and then I used the stratagem to make the Sakaran's hull-mounted heavy bolter just cause D3 mortal wounds, and I was lucky in rolling a 3 in that. So yeah, altogether he has, 4 wounds left? Why not?
Infantry units can only do Hellfire.
No, you can do it with vehicles.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Folks, there seems to be a rules discrepancy from the War Master himself. We're going to see if you can do Hellfire shells with only infantry. I was under the impression you could do it with any model with a heavy bolter. We'll be back in just a moment. Returned after consulting the ancient tome of the Space Marines Codex, and I was wrong. You can only do that with an infantry model. So I gained one of those CP back. Ryan pointed out that I would have shot the heavy bolter anyway, so I did that in lieu of the mortal wounds. I hit twice, wounded twice, Ryan failed one, so the result is actually the exact same as if I had used the stratagem, except I don't lose the command points.
But we did it right!
But we did do it right.
We did it right, that's all that matters.
So anyway, now that has been taken care of, the long fangs over here, I was hoping to do some wolf cunning and take this blow drone out. I used the Wolf's Eye, which lets them reroll either hits or wounds. Since they innately reroll ones, I decided to let them reroll all their wounds. And then Keen Senses, which means they ignore negative to hit penalties. And I ended up doing nothing with 4 las cannons. However, there is still a charge phase to get to, and I believe the wolfen smell rotted flesh, and
They're hungry.
want to slake their thirst. I don't know. We're not a narrative channel, if you can't tell. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do some charge rolls, and then we'll kind of wrap up the turn and see how many, if any, victory points I get. See you guys in a second. All right, so Space Wolves fight phase is complete. The Contemptor tried to climb up this,
Ruined bunker of some sort.
Whatever. But with one hand, it was kind of hard. So he failed his charge into the blow drone. Luckily, he didn't really suffer anything in Overwatch.
No.
On a more positive note, the Wolfen charged into the Poxwalkers and killed all but one. It does nothing for me in game except take some models off the board, but I can't go more than 2 turns without a charge phase. It's Space Wolves, so. So other than that, everything is still kind of awaiting the arrival of the Blight Lords, and there's a lot of stuff in that Rhino that's going to pop out and probably take some werewolves off the table.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, let's walk over and check out what I get. So I will take Defend Objective 3 for the Grey Hunters in the center, and I will take Defend Objective 2 for the Grey Hunters in the far right corner of the board. So that will put me 2 points up, so I will be at 5 now. I'm down to 4 command points, and then I will have to draw 2 sets of 2, and Ryan will, maybe I can bribe him to
bribe me.
Yeah.
Psychological war. Score a victory point if your opponent failed a morale test. I'm gonna give you this one because my dudes are fearless.
Yep.
So
that makes sense.
Put this one
And
away,
then I'm assuming you're just gonna give me Big Game Hunter because that, would be the hardest one for me to get.
Would it really?
No, I
would
was
it really?
being completely facetious.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to get Secure 6 today, my friend.
All right.
So, Secure 6, Kingslayer Assassinate, and Psychological Warfare.
All right.
Well, the Plague Marines actually do have to take morale, so that could be useful.
It's highly unlikely, but...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm 5 points up. This will be Death Guard turn 2. Let's see if I get cold. Or, I don't know, get sick. Get it? Because they're
icy, yeah.
Yeah, they're like pestilent.
You're dying.
Yeah, all right.
You're dying. That is complete for the Death Guard on turn 2. The Plague Bush Crawler just stood still. DM Prince moved up. All these guys came out of the Rhino and moved closer to the Wolfen. Everybody is the Foul Blight Spawn and the Biology Speechfire and all these Plague Marines.
Bring it on, Ryan.
The like Wolfen shit talking in the background. Got the lone Poxwalker just backed up over here, and I used the Dead Walk again on him, so I can maybe get some more dudes back. Something dies around him. The Rhino, after unloading all those dudes, just moved over there. These guys just moved closer to these Grey Hunters, right? Grey Hunters? Good.
Yeah.
So not tactical Marines, definitely Grey Hunters. Moved closer to them, or within like a 7-inch charge now. And the Bloat Drone just flew down kind of next to the Contemptor Dreadnought. And over on the opposite side of the battlefield, I was going to hold them in because I wanted Typhus to stay alive because it's kind of like an important thing. But, fuck it. All the Blight Lords are in and Typhus is down there too because we like to party. So, yeah, the point of this over here is do not shoot these guys, but shoot these guys, which are the Wolfen. Try to take them out just by plinking through their 3-up saves, and then hopefully get a charge onto the Grey Hunters over here to get this objective, and leave Typhus back there so he can't be shot at. So, yeah, we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase and the Shooting phase. Turn 2 for the Death Guard is coming to an end, except for the charging. So, in the Psychic phase, I got Miasma on to the Blight Lords over here. Failed to really do anything else, though. In the Shooting phase, I took out one of these Wolfen and did the crazy grenade combo over here to get this Wolfen unit down to 2 guys and 1 wounded. It was like 19 shots, right?
It was 19. Yeah.
19 shots, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And took this Contemptor down to 7 wounds with the nasty Flamer guy. Made like 3 5-up saves, so that was pretty sick. Now we're charging, and I have to see if I want to kill these Plague Marines or not, so come back in a second. Charge phase, these guys failed miserably to charge into the Grey Hunters over here, but didn't suffer any casualties in Overwatch, so that's pretty cool. Over here, these guys, the Poxwalkers, went into the Grey Hunters but failed to charge and suffered 1 guy as casualty. The Plague Marines decided to just, buck it up and let's do this and get slashed in the face with a bunch of Thunderhammers, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. The Bloat Drone took 3 wounds in Overwatch from a multi-melta, and it's down to 1 wound now, and got heroically intervened into by the Wolf Priest? Rune Priest. And the Demon Prince, after the Bloat Drone went in to soak up the Overwatch, went into the Contemptor. So that is that. Come back to you after this fight phase. The fighting is wrapped up, and I failed to kill the Wolfen squad over here, but successfully wrapped him and only took like 2 casualties, so that's pretty cool. The Bloat Drone got smacked in the face by this Contemptor and blew up, giving everything around it within 7 inches a mortal wound. So pretty much the only thing that ignored it was my Demon Prince.
My Wolfen.
And the Wolfen, of course, because that's super useful. And that's it. Yeah, that's all the fighting. So come back to you with the score. So at the end of the turn, I actually don't score any points because I failed to kill the Wolfen squad, and the Warlord's still alive. I'm definitely not getting 3 infantry squads in that his half of the board anytime soon because they're so slow. And Typhus is still alive, but it's not the end of the battle. So I think at the end of the turn, I'm going to discard this guy because pretty much not going to score that one anytime soon. So draw 2, and Wes gets to pick. Symbol of the Fly Lord, or Death Begets Life.
All right, well, I don't know what these do. So Symbol of the Fly Lord, score D3 victory points if you control exactly 3 objective markers at the end of the turn. No more, no less. Okay, that's pretty cool, but Death Begets Life whilst while this tactical objective is active, keep a tally of the number of enemy models you kill in each of your turns. Score 1 victory point if you killed at least 7, an additional 1 for every 7 more. I'm going to let you take Death Begets Life, because I don't think you're going to kill 14 models.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I hope I am.
So, we'll come back to you with turn 3 for the...
Right, so Space Wolf's turn 3 is starting up. This Wolfen has gotten locked in by these Plague Marines, which I'm not too concerned about, because if he dies, he attacks, and if he dies, he dies. So the Grey Hunters have moved up in an attempt to shoot some of these Poxwalkers and clear them out, and maybe charge in and reinforce the Wolfen. The Rune Priest has scooted over to the Warlord, Demon Prince, and the Wolfguard Battle Leader has moved up as well to get in range of him to charge. The Grey Hunters over here have stood still. And then the Wolfen and their Wolfguard Battle Leader have moved over here to engage the Blightlord Terminators.
The fight we all wanted.
Yeah, we didn't really have a gentleman's agreement about it, but I think we both knew it would happen at some point. And then nothing else has really moved. I am going to bring the Calidus in real quick. Would you mind handing me a D6, Ryan? Thank you. So she's going to come in 3 plus 2 inches away from your boy Typhus. Yeah, so 6 inches from Typhus. Wait, is it 3? 3 plus D6?
3 plus D6, yeah.
All right, so 5 inches away from Typhus. I am not good at math. So we're going to do Psychic and Shooting all in one and get back to you guys and see what the Sons of Rust can do in this final hour. All right, guys, shooting and psychic are both wrapped up. The Rune Priest over here failed a smite and did successfully manifest Living Lightning, but the target of this psychic attack, Ryan's Warlord, got the 4-up Disgustingly Resilient saves and actually came out unscathed. So a couple Poxwalkers died here and there, just from Grey Hunter Bolter Fire, but over here, not totally different story, I guess, but a little bit of a different story. The Grey Hunters in the ruins opened up on the Blight Lords. I think maybe they got a wound off, and then the entire firing base over here, including, well, actually not including the Warlords, so the Grey Hunters and the Sikaran opened up and took 2 out in total. So one had 1 wound, and then they killed that one, and then another one, unwounded one, was taken out as well. The Wolf Lord tried to use his sniper gun on Typhus to no avail, and the Calidus also failed with her pistol. So we're going to get into charge phases. I can tell you right now, Wolfen are going into the Blight Lords. Calidus is going to try to get into Typhus. Both of my characters, the Rune Priest and the Wolfguard Battle Leader, are going to go into the Demon Prince over here, and the Grey Hunter is going to try to get a charge off onto the Plague Marines surrounding that Wolfen. So we'll come back to you guys after everything is rolled for and tell you what happened. And we are back after a long Space Wolves turn 3 close combat phase. So the Wolfen and the Wolfguard Battle Leader got into the Blightlord Terminators and mulched them pretty good. I think he lost 4 altogether. In return, one of the Wolfen was hacked down by a rusty blade. After that, Ryan used his last 2 CP to interrupt Typhus, bringing the Calidus Assassin down to 2 wounds. In return, he took a wound from the Calidus.
1 wound, yeah.
1 wound from the Calidus. And then over here, the combined might of a Contemptor Dreadnought in middle profile, a Wolfguard Battle Leader with a Thunderhammer, and a Rune Priest managed to only take 4 wounds off of this Demon Prince. In return, every time he made a save, because he has that separating plate relic, I was taking mortal wounds every time he saved anything. So the Contemptor is down to 5 wounds now, the Battle Leader is down to 3, and the Rune Priest is no more. He got struck down with the Hellforged Sword. Over here, the Grey Hunters made their charge in to support this lone Wolfen. They succeeded in taking a Plague Marine out, and then the Wolfen took another one out. So while it was a very exciting turn, not much has happened in the way of points, as I have neither killed a character, I have not secured Objective 6, or slayed a Warlord. And since Ryan's army is generally immune to morale, I'm not picking up any points this turn. So let's go over to the scoreboard here and look at what I got. So psychological warfare is definitely going to get discarded. There's no way he's going to fail any morale, so I'm going to draw 2 over here. And Ryan, you tell me which one you want me to keep.
Ooh.
Yeah, real great.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
So I have Objective 3 right now.
3.
That is what the Grey Hunters are on. And then 1 is going to be over here in my deployment zone. Yeah, I'm spacing out.
Area?
Yeah, deployment area? Yeah, deployment housing.
So you're going to get 3.
Okay. All right. So I am down to 0 command points now. Get that dice out of there.
Awesome.
I am at.
0 command points.
I'm
I
at.
also scored blood and guts on this turn. So and I only killed 1 thing in close combat. So that's 1. Draw 2, and Wes gets to do the same thing to me.
All right. I'll repay the favor. So secure Objective 4 and 5. So let's take a look at where those are on the board. 5 is right over here, which you will get. And 4 is right there, which you also probably get. So I'll go ahead and take. I'll let you get 4 because I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the Plague Burst Crawler. So you can have defend Objective 5.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this will be Death Guard turn 3. You ready to do this, Ryan?
I think so. Yes.
All right. Let's see how many space pups are gonna be smitten by the stinky boy blades.
Turn 3 movement is all complete. The Plague Marines over here just fell back to block this objective off. The Demon Prince fell back so he could stay closest visible to the Wolfguard Battle Leader. Wolfguard Battle Leader is what they're called. Okay. These two long-named motherfuckers moved over here so I could get a flamer shot onto the Dreadnought and an injector pistol shot with this weird little grenade guy's injector pistol thing, which is a strange weapon. The Rhino came over here and drove under the bridge. These Poxwalkers just moved out of the way so I can get into charge range, but also allow the Rhino to get through. All this stuff just stayed still back here. They're stuck in and they're happy about it. And the Plague Burst Crawler over in the corner stayed still. So I'll come back to you with Psychic and Shooting. So for the Psychic phase, first off, he just did a smite into the Wolfguard Battle Leader, took him down to 1 wound, and then Typhus pretty much failed to do anything. So that was that. And the Shooting phase, the Foul Blight Spawn took out the Contemptor Dreadnought. The Injector Pistol missed into this Wolfen, who just really loves hanging around. The front sponson gun went into those Grey Hunters and took 2 out. The big cannon went into these Grey Hunters and took 2 out. And the pistol from Typhus, which is just a bunch of flies coming out of him, took a single wound off the Calidus. And, oh yeah, Combi Bolter went into these guys. I think I killed 1. So they're down to 3, and that is all my guns. So now we're going to get into the charge phase. Charging in, fight phase, all wrapped up. I threw away my Biologist Putrefier into that last Wolfen, and he got smacked in the face in the death throes of the Wolfen. His Wolfguard Battle Leader heroically intervened over here, but the separating plate took him out. Didn't even get to attack.
Oh, he did?
He didn't attack.
Oh, yeah.
The Demon Prince didn't
attack.
Yeah.
He's down to 1 wound now.
Yeah, down to 1 wound. The Poxwalkers over here failed to do anything and then lost a casualty, but did lock in this unit right here and deny them from scoring a point. Surprisingly, the Rhino didn't do anything either. The Wolfen over here cleaned up the Blightlord Terminators, and Typhus evaporated the Calidus. So that is where we're at with that. So scoring-wise, one of these, but I gave you Assassinate.
Yeah, you denied me 6 because you're on that, and then you have denied me 3 because now you have object secured on that.
Right.
But I did kill the Biologist Putrefier, that's the model. Yeah, so I do take Assassinate.
Cool.
So that will put me up to 6 points.
Nice. And I only get Secure Objective 5, and I think that's it. Yeah. So now I draw. So I'm going to draw 2. Wes is going to make sure that it's one that I can't get.
You're going to be... I'm sitting on Objective 1 with my Firebase, so that will be the one you take.
Oh, wow.
And then I will do the same thing. Witch Hunter, so 1 point if a Psyker was destroyed, and Scour the Skies, something that can fly. I don't think you have... Well, actually, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Your Demon Prince is both.
I know, exactly. So, yeah, let's just Scour the Skies, whatever.
Sure.
So, going back over here, and that is it. So, we'll come back to you with turn 4 for the Space Wolves.
All right, guys, so turn 4 movement for the Space Wolves is wrapped up. I'm sort of in a strange situation here. So, the Demon Prince took out, so far his tally is a Contemptor, a Rune Priest, and a Wolfguard Battle Leader. And so these Grey Hunters decided to move from here over to get within targeting range of him. He has 1 wound left. I need to slay the Warlord. And he incidentally also he is a Psyker, so I would get 2 points for taking him out. Over here, the Firebase has stood still. Over here, these Grey Hunters are sitting pretty. And the Wolfen and Wolfguard Battle Leader are closing in on Typhus. So, no Psychic to speak of. We'll do a quick round of shooting and then show you guys what the dice will make or not make happen for me. All right, guys, so we just wrapped shooting and combat up into one thing since there's not really a ton left on the table. Over here, the Grey Hunters tried to shoot Typhus, didn't do much, but the Wolfen and the Wolfguard Battle Leader came in and just ripped him up. Over here, I was sort of in a weird position, which Ryan did point out. So the Rhino was in combat, as were the Poxwalkers. So I couldn't target out too much over here with like the firing base because the Demon Prince is visible, but he's not the closest model. I would have had to shoot them. So I really only could target the now dead Plague Marines standing on Objective 6. So they're not there anymore either. So to wrap up, I took, five of them were on the objective? Yeah, five Plague Marines off of Objective 6, and Typhus is gone. I tried in vain to put a wound onto the Demon Prince. He has one wound remaining, but maybe I'll get him next turn. So let's go over to the scoreboard. If I picked anything up, secure Objective 3. I do not get now because now it's just contested.
Yeah.
Witch Hunter I don't get. Kingslayer I still don't get.
You get that.
Wait,
So
Witch
you
Hunter.
killed Psyker?
Oh, I did kill Typhus.
Yeah.
You're right. All right. Things are looking up Millhouse. So now that'll put me to 7 points. And then I will draw 2 cards and let Ryan decide. Okay, it's more secure objectives. I should shuffle this deck better.
There you go.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. And now this will be Death Guard turn 4. I'm sure it'll be very quick as both of us have, less than a third of our armies on the table.
Yeah.
So, I'll hand it off to
Turn
Ryan.
4 for the Death Guard movement is done. There's not really much to do. So over here, the Foul Blightspawn moved in advance, only got 1 inch added to the movement. And the Demon Prince just flew down here behind the Rhino. The 2 Poxwalkers that I put in this Rhino came out, and that's literally all I have. So we'll come back to you with the Psychic and shooting and Psychic and pretty much everything else because there's nothing else to do. This thing just unloaded the big cannon onto these guys, didn't do anything, or onto the Long Fangs, actually took one of them out. The front sponson weapon went into the guys that were here, the Grey Hunters, and the Flamer finished them off. The Demon Prince charged into the one remaining guy over here and annihilated him. So that is that for my turn. So there's really nothing left going on, so we'll see you in a second.
And after 4 bloody turns, me and Ryan have decided to call the game. Visions of Victory is complete. So let's go over to my area. I ended the game with Secure Objective 5, Secure Objective 3, Kingslayer, and Secure Objective 6. I wasn't able to get any of these, but I did, over the course of the game, get 7 victory points. Ryan ended up with Spread Contagion, Death Begets Life, Secure Objective 1, and Kingslayer. Also, he was not able to get these. And over the course of the game, he was able to pick up 4 victory points. So that's going to be a win for the Space Wolves, 13th Company, which is very nice after losing, I think, most games on the channel to Ryan's Death Card list. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give MVP status to my Wolflord and Phobos armor. I think that that just 15-inch denial bubble really helped being able to control where he was going to put his deep striking elements in. And the Wolf End did most of the work in close combat by just completely slaughtering units, but maybe they would have gotten taken out of place or just completely left in the dirt without this dude being, providing just such a large area of denial. So pretty happy with the win. Ryan, you got an MVP choice as well?
No, definitely the Demon Prince of Wings. I think he tanked probably over the course of the game, maybe 15 or 16 wounds just on the 4-up Feel No Pain. So definitely super annoying. The 1 wound left at the end of the game is very, very brutal. A 2-up save, or a 3-up save to a 5-up save, being made into a 2-up save with that armor, and then also spitting back mortal wounds is just so brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he took out 2 HQs and a Dreadnought and still lived to tell the tale, so it's pretty cool. Any thoughts about the game? We haven't really done a lot of Maelstrom missions on this.
Maelstrom is really cool.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It's definitely, I think, and we talked about this before we started filming, I think it's a lot more fun than ITC. It's just so much more random, so much more I don't know, just the variables are hard to kind of account for. It's not just I made this list for an ITC format. I know it's going to win because I did this thing or something. It's just very I'm definitely not getting across the board, in 1 turn, so I'm just not going to get a point,
Yeah, it's definitely fun, super cool for casual games and there's nothing, there's nothing wrong with competitive play. Like, we both do it all the time, but it's cool to just take a step and try a different format for a change. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, I personally was really happy to bring like the Wolves back, and they're not completely done, which does irk me a bit. Like, I've been trying for a long time to get this to be a completely painted army, but it's slowly getting there, baby steps, and it's just cool to play with them. There's like first army I ever really started collecting, and at the end of the day, I just like playing the Wolves. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.